Hi, I'm Megan Hernandez and I'm back finally with another video to help you guys with food photography. So I'm a blogger just like I know a lot of you guys are, and multiple people have asked how I take such nice photos of my food and the finished recipes. And it has taken me a long time to get to the point that I'm at today. I am constantly learning. I think it's a process that's never really ending. I'll show you some old photos of like the very first recipes on my website, and you can see it was not nearly at the level that it is today. So something I've learned over the years is that a good photo of my recipe or the food that I've made can literally make or break that post. It can be an amazing recipe, like taste really good and be just like the best dish ever. But if no one clicks on that, if no one goes to try that, if no one engages with that post, all that work was almost for nothing. Like it's just gonna sit there and it's not going to get the love that I feel it deserves. So quality, really good, nice photos of your food is crucial. So another reason that I need really good photos is because Pinterest is one of the top sources of my traffic. So a lot of you guys already know this. It's a very visually based platform. So if you are using a platform like Pinterest, if you're on Lemonade, that's kind of similar right now too. Even TikTok, just wherever you're sharing images of your work, then it's really important to make sure that those images are as best as possible. So I'm gonna get started and take you kind of through a recipe that I'm shooting today, which is one I wasn't even planning on. It's something I make all the time and just realized like, duh, hey, I love this thing so much. I should probably, turn it into a piece of content. So I'm making some traditional Mexican street corn cups, or elote, esquites, as they're called over there in Mexico. So I am going to take you behind the scenes of shooting this recipe today. So the first thing that I do before I even, start to set up, take pictures or anything, I actually do some research on online, basically. I go and look up recipes that are similar to mine and just see what stands out to me. A lot of times I'll do this on Google. Sometimes I'll go over to Pinterest too. So I'll try to put up some examples right now and just show you what pops up first when I'm looking up Mexican street corn. And what I am trying to pay attention to is what looks appealing to me. Which recipes would I click on? Because you'll notice when you go on and you really look at this, you'll notice which ones look good and which ones do not look nearly as appealing. So I pay attention, see kind of like what props they used, how they staged it. Is it focused more on one dish? Did they put like multiple cups out? I've learned a lot this way. I almost feel like other people's images out there have been my own teacher. And again, I'm not stressing, or I'm not saying to copy their photo exactly, but it's a really, really good way to get inspiration and gives you a place to start. And next, I'll talk about the equipment that I use, because I am super, super basic. If you guys have followed me for a little bit, I always talk about how I don't like to pay for anything. I don't like to pay for courses. I don't like to pay for paid versions of, a plugin or programs if I don't have to. So I try to keep my investments as low as possible. So I shoot everything with my iPhone. I don't have any fancy, camera. I don't have any fancy equipment. I do everything with my hands and with my phone. Now, I'm sure there might be some things that might make the process easier, but again, I get really good results doing it this way. And I really just don't believe in putting in a ton of money into your blog until you're making good money. I'm probably at a place I could put a little bit back into my business, but right now, again, this is working for me, so I'm sticking with it. So the third thing that's really important in my photos is good lighting. I know you've probably heard this before, but I will show you where I like to take pictures. This is a peek into my not so fancy kitchen. Kind of small, but it works. I like it. And there's one specific spot right here that I'm going to show you that I like to use. So there's my kitchen, and right over here is, I don't know what this is called, little breakfast nook, something, but it is the perfect spot for me to take my photos because we have lighting, we're next to a window. I have this really, really cheap table that I got on Amazon, but up close it looks like a nice rustic kind of wood background. I even have some funky like colors I am definitely a maximalist. Different things I can incorporate if I want to, but really I just use this table as my background, my first layer. And the most important reason why I like this spot is the lighting. So I prefer to shoot in daylight. I think I get the best results with, natural light next to this window. And I try to also do it when it's sunny and not too overcast. If it's a little cloudy, sometimes that looks still really nice, but you want natural light, in my opinion, is the best. And you also want to make sure that all the lights are off in your house, because they can make like an orange or, yellowish tint to your picture. You might not even notice it, but I promise there's a big difference when you have your lights on versus when you have them off. So make sure all your lights are off and you're next to some natural light if possible. So the next tip that I want to share, and something that I think really makes my photos look nicer, is staging the photo, adding layers, creating kind of like a scene with your finished recipe. So this makes a huge difference, like setting a scene versus just taking like a picture of a basic cup of corn on a table makes a huge difference. So I'm going to show you guys what I use. Again, I'm a basic girly over here. I don't really have anything fancy. I'm going to show you what I work with, but I'll also give you some suggestions on what I even could use or invest in to make my photos even better. I always start my setup the same way. So I have this table again that I use every time. I have this random set of wooden beads that is just a decoration on my table, but has actually come to be a big piece of my photography. And I hope now it kind of like makes my photos stand out. So if you see these wood beads in there, you know that it's an electric mommy recipe. So I have these, and I have this kind of, I don't know, rustic looking placemat that I always start with. So I just lay this down, and a lot of times I just lay the beads, kind of in a, pretty little pattern here. And that's the start. That's almost the start for all of my photos. Okay, you know what? I just had a thought. I just showed you how I set up all my recipe photos normally. I try to use neutral colors. I don't want to use anything too loud because I really want the food itself to be the main focus. And I think using too many colors or distracting objects can take away from the food. So you want to be mindful with that. However, since this is a authentic Mexican food recipe, I kind of want to give it a Mexican feel to the photo. So I have this blanket that I got in Mexico. That's where my husband's from. We have tons of family down in Oaxaca, so I have all kinds of stuff that I've gotten over there. So I think I might experiment with using this as my background. But again, normally I go with neutral colors and that same little beige matte, but I'm gonna try something different here. Okay, so I changed my setting, and I also got some props. I'm probably gonna use some lime wedges, maybe. And I have these cute little, I don't know, they're little pens that my cousin gave me from down in Mexico. And I might use these as props. And you know what, since this is really bright and might take away from some of the other props, I could layer this. I could maybe put this back on top of this, so you still get the, the Mexican blanket in the background, and this will help not take away too much from the actual food itself or the other props that I use. So I think that's what we're going with. Now on to the next part. So now that I have a rough, basic setup to where I'm going to shoot my recipe, it's time to go get the actual recipe and do the finishing touches. Get it all ready and include garnishes and other accents. So let me show you how I'm going to do that on this recipe. So there's my little staging area from far away, and now I'll bring you guys in to kind of show you how I set this up. So this is where I'm talking about using accents and garnishes and anything that you have, any kind of props that will really add to your scene. So again, I just really wanted to make this look very Mexican, just convey that it's a traditional Mexican street corn recipe. So here is some of the stuff I used. A lot of times I will use the ingredients that is some of the toppings that go in this street corn cup. And I like to play around with texture. You'll notice that I kind of sprinkled some of the cotija cheese all around. I don't know, I just really feel like it adds a nice look to the photos. And we added the limes, which gives it a little pop of color. And I did go ahead and leave this matte. That way all of this didn't blend in too much with the colored background. Put a little, wedge of the cheese right there. I have these, salt and pepper shakers that kind of go with the vibe of this picture. And that's what I'm working with. So I'll show you guys in a minute what this is gonna look like finished and edited. So you'll notice that I did not use a lot of like fancy plates or anything really. I'm just working with what I have. However, I mentioned earlier that there's something I should invest in, and I think that is some plates, because a lot of mine are really shiny and I think matte surfaces work a little bit better. I don't have the best set of dishes. So in this is a good example, because the little glass cup that I am using to hold the corn isn't my favorite. It has some designs on it that I really don't love. So I'm probably gonna go with a aerial shot from the top. But that is something that if you are getting serious with, your food photography, that you might want to invest in, a couple like rustic spoons, again, the plates, just different things that you could use to add accents or layers in your picture. So experiment. Everybody's eye is different. I love this part. I feel like it's really artsy. I have a lot of fun like setting up this whole scene, I guess you could call it. But again, this is all kind of subjective. So just play around with what you have and see what looks good to you. But experiment with all those things: textures, layers, the dishes you have, stuff like that. Okay, and last, I am going to jump on the computer and show you guys how I edit my photos. Actually, it's on the phone. It's not on my computer. Let me correct myself. The editing process is pretty easy for me now, because I figured out what settings I like, what filters I like, a certain app that I like to use. So I'm gonna share all of that with you. Okay, so here's an example of what they look like after I shot them. I kind of saved my favorites here, and now I'll go through and show you guys what I like to do for editing. So here's the first one. Sometimes I will use the settings here on the phone. I'll just click these 3 bars down here. And of course, on your phone, there's all different kinds of, ways that you can edit. But what I like to do first, which is kind of a little shortcut, I'm gonna hit cancel here. I leave the photo unedited, and then I go over to Lemonade. So Lemonade actually has quite a few filters that I found that I really like. You can experiment with different apps. There are so many apps out there for editing photos. And it's really nice when you find one with some filters that you like, because it makes it easier. So I'm gonna click this little plus button down here, and I'm gonna click on favorites. They're all saved here. Let's go to, I guess, the first one, and we'll hit next. So right at the bottom on filters, there's 2 here that pop up because they're my most used, the Steam and Blue Sky, those first 2. These are the 2 that I really, really like to use. I experiment with those first. So here's what Steam looks like. It's definitely a really bright, like overly saturated filter. I never leave it at 100, but here's at 0. I'll kind of drag it like right here, right around, I'm at 60. I really think this looks super nice. It's bright, the colors pop, and it looks just really, really, really appealing to me. But again, there's another one that I like to play with. So I'm gonna click on Blue Sky, and this one looks good on certain recipes. So depending on what colors are in the photo, what food, one of these filters will look better than the other. And sometimes neither one works well. And when they both don't look right to me, that's when I'll go back to my camera settings and I'll edit it manually. So between these 2 on this picture, I really, really like the Steam filter. And you can in here, so I'm gonna check this box. I'm gonna leave it right there. Then this little adjust button, you can go in, and it's very similar settings to your phone. So I could make this even brighter if I wanted. I don't really want to. You could, it's got all the same settings. Saturation. I don't think I really need to go any more than it already is. So I'm going to hit next. Then I'm not posting it or doing anything like that. I'm just gonna click on my photo, and I actually have to take a screenshot of this. And then I just crop out the black part. This is kind of cheating a little bit. I'm gonna save that to my photos because if you try to save it directly from Lemonade, it's going to leave a watermark. So this is kind of my way around that. Now I'm just going to hit delete, and we're going to cancel this draft. So I picked my favorites from the photo shoot, and here are the finished edited results. You can see they're really bright. The color to me looks really nice, and this is going to be the handful of photos that I have to work with for my blog post. Now, if you don't want to go this route and you don't want to use an app or filters, let me show you really quick how I edit my photos just with the phone settings. So here I'm just in my normal like photos app. I'm gonna click these this button at the bottom, the 3 lines, and that brings up all the buttons you can use to adjust your photo. So right away you can tell it looks just very like bland. I don't use exposure too much. Sometimes I think it looks a little funky. I use the brilliance function. Might make it a little bit brighter. I don't know, it doesn't need too much. I'll experiment with the brilliance. A lot of times I go over right now, it looks like the saturation needs adjusted. I'm gonna increase the saturation. That's a little better. Let's try vibrance. Vibrance right next to it. Add a little bit. And then right after vibrance is warmth, which will add either, depends on which way you go. It's gonna add more yellow to your photo if you go this way. And I think it's green the opposite way. And the button next to it is tint. Now, you know, warmth was yellow and green, tint is pink and blue. So right adds a pink tone. Oh, this is green. I think I got it wrong. Okay, so warmth is yellow and blue, not yellow and green. Tint is pink and green. I don't usually add too much pink or green. Actually, a little pink there kind of looks nice. Over here on warmth, I do want to increase that. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back over to contrast. Somewhere after brilliance. Okay, here we go. Here's contrast. Sometimes it's a little too much. I'll try lowering that. I like that a little bit better. And brightness is just another, you know, it's another button that brightens the photo. I guess a little brighter looks nice. And I'm gonna hit done because I think that's probably where I would leave it if I was editing it this way. Here's the example with the filter. Let me go the other way for what they were looking like before editing it with the phone. So you can still get really good results with the phone and you have more control. But again, for me, the filter is the fastest route. And since I found some that I like, it just makes editing so much faster. So that is how I shoot and edit my photos. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to ask in the comments. I am more than happy to help. Free of charge. I do not have classes I charge for. I genuinely just want to help other bloggers getting started. So if you guys could help me with a like on this video, if you found it helpful, and even better with a subscribe, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.